Hello guys and welcome to Pact. So the course name is Getting Started with Course Features in Ansible 2, and my name is Prateek Jan and I'll be the professor here teaching you about Ansible. So talking about myself, I'm a DevOps engineer myself and it has been more than 3 years now in this industry. So I work for multiple US and UK based projects and clients and also some Indian projects like Rice and Royals. So if you are a cricket fan, Indian cricket fan I would say, so you must definitely be aware of this IPL team Rice and Royals. So I specialize in infrastructure automation and security. So these are stuff which interests me most. And even in this course, we will see how we use Ansible and Ansible playbooks basically for large purposes like security audits and entire infra automation and various other advanced uses. So beginning the course overview here. So firstly will be our section 1, and in this section we will set up our environment and basically see what the prerequisites we will need to install and how to set up our environment. We will basically install Ansible package and everything else we will need in this section, and we will make our code repository where we will place all our code, and everything will be in section 1 to set up our environment so that we can start using Ansible very flawlessly. Then in our section 2 we will see how we can create Ansible playbooks. We will start to creating our Ansible playbooks, some master playbooks, and just as an example, in this section we will also set up our Nginx environment. So in section 2 you will see our first playbook will be for Nginx like web server setup, and we will in this section basically understand how we can start writing our Ansible playbooks and what are the main things we have to take care from the beginning itself, and with some examples of Nginx setup. So in this section 2 we will see how we can set up our Nginx web server just using our first Ansible playbook, which will be like an example here. And in this section 2 we will see how we can start creating our Ansible playbooks and what are the main things to keep in mind since the beginning itself. Then in section 3 we will understand some more Ansible modules. So we will see how these Ansible modules basically work and more functionality of number of Ansible modules. So we'll be learning about some basic Ansible modules and some cloud AWS modules of AWS like AWS S3 and all this. So section 3 will be entirely about some understanding of Ansible modules and how we can integrate those modules to our own Ansible playbooks. Then in section 4 we will learn about AWS, that how and why we shall actually use AWS and the advantages of using AWS cloud platform, and we will also see some examples of Ansible playbooks to automate our entire infrastructure. So how we will be able to like set up our instances and create some instances and everything. So in section 4 we will see some more examples of advanced Ansible playbooks for entire infrastructure automation. So there will be examples of creating some instances and terminating those instances and number of more things. Then in section 5 we will see how we can convert our Ansible playbooks using roles. So basically we will understand the purpose and the structures of roles in Ansible. So we will be creating some roles with some similar examples like in section 2 and 3, and we will see how we can actually keep the code structure accordingly and how we basically have to convert our Ansible playbooks to much more better and a structured manner. Then in our last section, section 6, we will use some Ansible playbooks for even more advanced purposes like security audits and running of our own custom scripts and number of different purposes. So in section 6, we will create a number of playbooks which will be basically used for security and everything. So you will be able to see large number of roles and some advanced Ansible playbooks for this purpose. So guys, these were our sections and some prerequisites and some recommendations which I would recommend you shall have before you start with this course basically, so that you don't have any kind of problem in executing my Ansible code in fact, and writing your own code also. So we have been trying to keep things very simple and very understandable for you guys, so that to make things more and more easier for you. So let's start with section 1 guys, and I hope you guys will have a good experience, learning experience, and I will try my best to keep things maximum clear possible. So let's get started.